This story happened on Halloween of 2019. Bitch, I'm scared. So this boy is 12 years old and he had entered a new secundaria, which I think is like middle school here in America. And he mentions how nervous he was going and how he didn't think he was gonna make friends, but he actually did. Very easily, which shocked him too. He said the day before Halloween fell on a Friday, which they all went to school dressed up, and he was dressed up as a skull. So he says that he doesn't know what he ate that day at school, but the following day on Halloween, he felt sick. He was puking, his head hurt, his stomach hurt, so he decided to stay in even though his parents were going to a party and his sister was going to go to another Halloween party that he was also invited to. He felt that sick that he decided to stay in and not even go out and celebrate Halloween. His sister's also 3 years older than him, and he said how none of them wanted to leave him alone for Halloween, but he didn't want to ruin their day because in their house, Halloween was a big celebration. But eventually, he convinced them and they went on their way. So he's laying in bed and he said that something strange happened, but he doesn't know if he was like maybe half asleep or maybe dreaming, but he thought that he saw someone wearing his costume watching him from the door of his bedroom. Can you picture that? Can you imagine that? Like you're laying in bed and someone is standing at your door wearing your Halloween costume. I mean, mine was Princess Fiona from Shrek this year, but I think I'd still be scared. He said when he saw that, he kind of like forced himself to wake up fully and try to concentrate looking at that door, but by that time there was nothing there. He said that he just told himself he was hallucinating because that had already happened like a few years back. He got very severely sick and he also hallucinated a lot of things in that house, so he just chucked it off to it being another hallucination. He said he still managed to go back to sleep, and then he thinks it was around 8 or 9 p.m. where he started hearing a voice calling him by his name. He said that the voice wasn't creepy, actually the opposite. He said that the voice sounded like a very caring person or like maybe someone that was watching after him. He said that the voice told him to get up, wake up, and get out of bed. And he listened because that voice sounded like it wanted to help him. He said that he just felt in his gut that he needed to listen to that voice or something bad was gonna happen to him. He said that the voice told him to go to the balcony upstairs and he listened. He said that that top balcony is always closed and that he even mentioned that to the person who was talking and that the lady told him, "Don't worry, I'll open it for you." And it did happen because when he went up there to try to pull that door open, it wasn't locked. He said that at this point he knew he was fully awake, but he was almost in a state of like a trance. He said that the voice then told him to walk to the edge of the balcony because he needed to see something. He said that he listened, and not just that, but he actually climbed to the top of the border of the balcony. And then this voice told him that he had to jump. He said that at that point was when he started to doubt what this voice was trying to make him do. He said that the voice told him to close his eyes and jump and that everything was gonna be okay. He was just gonna get very sleepy soon. Very sleepy soon. He said that at that moment he started hearing screams from far away, and for whatever reason those screams made him think of his parents and his sister. He said that he ended up closing his eyes, but all he could picture was his parents and his sister, and meanwhile this voice was telling him, "This is the time, you have to jump now, you can't stall any longer." He said that he finally said no. And when he said no, that woman's voice said, "Well, then I'm gonna push you." He said that at that point he started crying, but he also heard those screams from earlier getting closer and closer to him. He says that now he knows that those screams were coming from one of his neighbors who was screaming at him not to jump. He said that out of nowhere, someone hugged him, pulled him off the ledge, and he managed to open his eyes to see one of his neighbors and his sister who was uncontrollably crying. He said that after this, things went crazy. They took him to a psychiatrist and they had him under medication, but he said they never found anything wrong with him. At this point, he also couldn't be alone at any moment in time. He said that time has passed and his sister was also seeing a psychiatrist, but she said something to them that she hadn't said before, and that the parents didn't believe her, but this is what she said. She admitted to them that when she was at that Halloween party, something told her that she needed to go home. And when she got home, she looked up and saw her brother on that balcony edge. She told them that she started running up those stairs and it was like in the dark because at this point, all the lights were off. She said that she was running up those steps and she could finally see that door to the balcony, and as soon as she was getting close, something grabbed her and pushed her down those stairs. She said that she had felt two hands on her chest and just pushed her back down the stairs. And when she got up, She looked around and nobody was there. And it wasn't just that. When she tried to get back up, something also grabbed her by the hair so hard that it pushed her back down again. And again, there was no one around her. Don't pull my hair. So again, while she's trying to get up, there's no one there, but a few seconds pass and that male neighbor that was running up to get the kid too actually helped her up, and they both ran up to the balcony and took him off that ledge. He said that that day is so hard to explain to anybody because obviously they were gonna think they're crazy, which they did, because the parents don't even believe either of their stories. He actually said that that day ruined Halloween for their family and that they have never celebrated it ever since. I'm just curious why the sister waited so long to tell the parents that story, because I don't know, I just feel like when two people go through something, you're not crazy. Like, there's no way. Even the neighbor saw her on the ground. Like, he saw that she had fallen. That could have, like, helped their story, but I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, that would have ruined Halloween forever for me, too. So this is another translated story. Here is the YouTube video. If you know Spanish, go listen to it. And if you don't, I got you. I'm gonna keep making translated stories for you. And I'm sorry I keep saying, like, if you know Spanish, go listen to it. But I feel like he's such a better storyteller that if you know Spanish, it's just so much better coming from his mouth.